In this video tutorial, we'll have a look at how to define emulators for Android. Emulators are also called virtual devices, which says pretty much everything. An emulator is a simulation of an Android device, which you might need for testing and checking your application's functionality. Emulators are managed in the SDK in AVD Manager. AVD is for Android Virtual Device. If you click on that little icon like I've just done, you'll see this screen. And the first category, Virtual Devices, is activated. As you can see, there's no AVD defined yet. Here we can see where the AVDs are stored. You can see that this is a per-user setting. This means that every user can define his own AVDs. To define a new one, I click on New. Before providing a name, I'll take a look at the targets in this drop-down. And these are the API packages installed on this machine. You can see a few that start with Android, different versions. For example, Android 1.5, with the additional hint at the API level, which is 3. As you can see, the API level increases with every minor version. Or even if you have a look at these two, within a minor version. This basically means that each level with a higher number contains APIs and functions the next lower level doesn't contain, or doesn't contain yet. Other functionality may have become obsolete. You'll also notice that the Android entries are interspersed with Google API's entries carrying the same API levels. It's as simple as that. This is raw Android and this is Android and Google Maps. To create an AVD that runs Android 2.3.1 and is capable of showing Google Maps, I select Google API's API level 9. Now I can specify an appropriate name. For example, generic _2_3. I can now specify further characteristics of this simulated device, for example, the resolution. There are a few predefined settings. The default WVGA 800 means a resolution of 800 by 480. If I want to simulate an SD card, I can enter any value, for example, 1024 for a 1 gig SD card. In the field Hardware, I can define additional hardware characteristics of the device. For example, if there's SD card support, if it has a D-pad, a track stick, for example, and so on and so on. It has, for example, GPS. One possible way to deal with this may be to drop everything in and later on strip those out which are not applicable. This keeps you from clicking on the drop-down box every time. Okay, let's simulate a device without a D-pad, with a pretty high resolution camera, no trackball, camera is there, battery auto recording, touchscreen, GPS, cache partition, okay, let's leave that out. Keyboard support, no, it doesn't have any physical keyboards, and a device RAM size of, let's say, 512 megabytes. This will go as well. Okay, and then we click on Create AVD, and the AVD Manager will create a virtual device. There it is. It's a little log here in the console, and there's my device. I can now select the device and click on Start, and if I wanted the device to appear as close to its actual size as possible, I'd probably check Scale Display to Real Size, and if the screen size is 4 inches, you enter 4 here. And this is the resolution of the actual screen you're looking at. Let's say it is 96 and click Launch. And there it is. Now the emulator starts. This might look a little smallish in this video tutorial because, of course, the whole screen is scaled down to show within your browser window. And now there's Android 2.3 in a generic emulator. You've now seen how you can define generic emulators for Android development.